Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're jumping straight into the very blueprint of who you are. For the longest time, looking at our DNA felt kind of like science fiction, right? Or maybe just a fun little novelty to figure out where your great-grandparents came from. But the whole paradigm is shifting. According to the foundational principles of the wellness revolution, digging into your genetic makeup isn't just a neat party trick anymore. It's the absolute critical preliminary health test. Literally the starting line for truly understanding your own body.
I mean, think about it. How many times have you tried some highly recommended diet or a supposedly foolproof workout routine only to find it did absolutely nothing for you? Frustrating, right? The reality is that whole one-size-fits-all approach to health advice is completely failing us. But what if the secret to your optimal health, your energy, and your longevity is already locked away inside you? What if your own body holds the ultimate customized blueprint for exactly how you should eat, move, and live? Okay, let's dive into this, because the source material from the wellness revolution makes one thing abundantly clear. If you are serious about your health, genetic testing is your mandatory baseline. It is the absolute first stage of any comprehensive health and lifestyle review. Before you start tracking your sleep, before you overhaul your gut health, before you count even a single calorie, you have to know what you're working with on a cellular level. It's basically the bedrock of personalized medicine.
So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover unlocking your genetic secrets, how genetic testing actually works, choosing your test, interpreting those genetic insights, and finally, mapping out your personalized wellness pathway.
All right, part 1, unlocking your genetic secrets.
At the absolute center of all this is your genome. Your genome is the entire, complete set of your genetic material, your DNA. Think of it as the master blueprint responsible for the development, the functioning, and the daily maintenance of, well, you. And within this incredibly complex code, you've got somewhere between 20,000 and 25,000 individual genes. Each one of those genes is just a little segment of DNA that encodes specific proteins. And those proteins directly influence your visible characteristics, your internal traits, and crucially, your susceptibility to a whole range of diseases.
Moving on to part 2, how genetic testing works.
You might think getting this information is incredibly complicated, but empowering yourself with this knowledge is actually surprisingly accessible. You just order a pack, provide a simple sample, whether that's a quick blood draw, a vial of saliva, or even just a painless cheek swab. Then you send it off to an aggregator, and boom, you receive your comprehensive report. It is a remarkably straightforward physical start to what is a deeply complex scientific journey. Now, what's really interesting about this next step is what happens behind closed doors. Once your sample hits the aggregator's lab, some seriously sophisticated tech goes to work. They extract a tiny fragment of your DNA and run this massive, complex analysis. Basically, they're comparing your raw data against these incredibly expansive genetic databases. And by doing that, they can pinpoint your unique genetic variations, spot any chromosomal distinctions, and even detect specific protein mutations. So there's this intense, highly sophisticated data comparison happening behind the scenes just to generate your unique findings.
Okay, part 3, choosing your genetic test.
Let's talk economics and value, right? What are you actually buying? According to the source material, the gold standard, the ideal choice, is a whole genome sequence, or WGS. This gives you the absolute most comprehensive insights, but yeah, it's an investment. It usually runs anywhere from $250 to $1,000. On the flip side, a standard genetic test gives you a more basic analysis and can cost as little as $150. Ultimately, you really get what you pay for when it comes to the depth of the analysis. Oh, and a big trend noted in the wellness revolution is that these premium comprehensive reports are increasingly tied directly to app-based solutions, which means you literally get your health insights right in your pocket.
And hey, if you're wondering just how huge this industry has gotten, 70. The Wellness Revolution actually provides a curated list of 70 different genetic testing companies for you to choose from. 70! That massive number perfectly illustrates the sheer vastness of the market right now. It is a total buyer's market out there, and you have incredible freedom to shop around for exactly what you need.
With 70 different companies competing for your attention, the options are practically endless. And that's because they focus on completely different wellness goals. Sure, most of them look at general potential health risks and diseases, but others, they have entirely different focuses. You can analyze your body's specific responses to nutrients and medications, explore your ancestry and origins, or even dig into how your genes influence child development, emotional well-being, and behavior patterns. You can literally tailor the test to fit exactly where you are in life right now.
Which brings us to part 4, interpreting your genetic insights.
So here's the hard truth.
Raw genetic data alone, it's not going to magically change your life. Once you get that massive, comprehensive report, you absolutely have to bring it to a professional. The Wellness Revolution strongly recommends engaging with a well-being practitioner. That could be a specialized clinician, a certified genetic counselor, or maybe a naturopath. You need someone with the actual expertise to not just stare at the raw data, but to comprehend what it actually means out in the real world. They are basically your translators. They take all that dense scientific jargon and turn it into something actionable and meaningful for your everyday life.
To give you a concrete example, the source material specifically highlights organizations like Arrival. They're entirely dedicated to taking that complex analysis of your genetic data and turning it into personalized health and wellness coaching. And honestly, this is where the magic happens. It's the bridge between knowing your chromosomal variations and, actually knowing what you should eat for breakfast. It's guided coaching based entirely on your unique biology.
And finally, Part 5, your personalized wellness pathway.
And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate payoff. When your genome is properly interpreted, it lays the foundation for a truly personalized plan. We are moving completely away from that generic one-size-fits-all advice. We're talking about targeted preventative measures meant just for you. Specific nutritional guidance, exercise recommendations crafted precisely for your body type to optimize your fitness. It even offers a roadmap for early intervention, so you can manage complex health concerns way before they escalate. Guys, this is the very definition of personalized medicine.
As the Wellness Revolution so perfectly puts it, your genome becomes a compass guiding you toward a healthier, more empowered life. I absolutely love that. That is the ultimate goal here. It's not about bracing yourself for bad news or finding out some predetermined fate. Not at all. It's about gaining a powerful internal compass so you can navigate all your daily health choices with absolute confidence.
You have a blueprint inside you right now, a blueprint that contains the exact answers to how your unique body works, how it responds, and what it actually needs to thrive. And the tools to read that blueprint, they're more accessible today than they have ever been in human history. So the only question left to ask yourself is, are you ready to let your DNA guide your wellness journey?